benevolence. It's DAVIDEMETRI. We're live in color. And yeah, I'm dropping this for you. Definitely. This is what we do. This is what I do. And I do it for you. Wherever you be, wherever you be. It's DAVIDEMETRI. We're live in color. We are going live. It's 10:20 almost. I was shooting for 10:30, but it's cool. Early is okay. I'm spontaneously doing this, no warning, on purpose. It is Tuesday, the 17th of September, 2024. It is election year, and we are in the house, dropping jewels. It's DAVIDEMETRI. We're live in color. We are on Instagram. I'm DAVIDEMETRI live in color. We are on Instagram at DAVIDEMETRI live. We're at DAVIDEMETRI Johnson live on Facebook. DAVIDEMETRI Johnson live on Facebook. And so this is what we're doing. We're gonna do some responses. My response is a little bit real and real and that real, and then we're gonna kick some truths about the future of the United States. The future is what matters, and that's what's going down. We are on Facebook at DAVIDEMETRI Johnson. Not only watch on Facebook if you don't want to stay on Instagram, or if you don't want to stay on DAVIDEMETRI live in color on YouTube. If you're going to move over to Facebook, join the Facebook. If you go to the Instagram, join the Instagram. If you go to the YouTube, DAVIDEMETRI live in color on YouTube, join that YouTube. And we are also going live on the YouTube OWU, the OWU YouTube, the OW YouTube, like that right there. This sign right here with my my wand, the OWU, OWU, One World Union, the One World Union. That's another YouTube that I'm live streaming on at the same time, simultaneously. We're gonna drop some jewels real quick. Let's get in tune. We making it vibrate. There's a lot going on that needs to be talked about. I usually don't really do response videos on purpose. I don't respond to things going on because I don't want to fall in that category and seem like I'm doing what everybody else doing, monkey see, monkey do. But it's a time that we should, like, respond to certain things. So right now it's something I want to respond to, because I always talk about polarization and how it really wrecks our minds, our consciousness, and what we care about. And a lot of us don't want to care about nothing but money and the immediate, or whatever our own personal lives and plans are, because what we become is numb to the world. We become numb to the real issues going on in the world. And that's not the way you want to be. It isn't. You want to be alive. You want to be alive, aware of what's going on in the world, and you want to have a perspective. Naturally, even subconsciously, this is happening, that's happening. You're going to subconsciously take a side. Well, this is me. This is how I would have dealt with this. Or this is how I feel about that. And so I want to respond to a couple of things that are going on. And so again, you can call in. You can check the call-in number right there. It's on the screen. I'm going to enlarge it. I'm going to enlarge the call-in number so it'll be easier for y'all to call in. Easier for you to know that you can call in. For now, this will be this big. I'm going to have to make it a little bit more smaller. But anyway, let's talk about this. I want to respond, first of all, to P. Diddy, the African American, the foundational Black American, better even call them that, or the African, the descent of Africans here in the United States, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs. He is, like it or not, the Jeffrey Epstein of the black entertainment community. So first of all, we all know Jeffrey Epstein was a monster, and for years he got away with just basically destroying the dignity and integrity through sexual exploits and financial exploits and public shaming and even physical violence against many people in the film and even other areas of entertainment, including bulldozing over accountants and etc. Jeffrey Epstein was a monster. He didn't just do wrong to other entertainers or people in the entertainment that were in the front, but also in the background, he would crush people's lives, not just their positions. So, from many pages in the Jeffrey Epstein book, this guy, like Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, who's from New York. He's Bad Boy Records, 1990s, etc., etc. If you don't know who he is, well, I'm responding to him being arrested yesterday. Again, today is the 17th of September 2024. Yesterday, the 16th, he was finally arrested. The federal government, along with the states with an S in the United States and probably in even other countries, have been applying and dictating the implementation of criminal cases against Sean Puffy Combs, the black American Jeffrey Epstein, who's done pretty much the same things Jeffrey Epstein has done, with just on a smaller level. And so, with saying that, I believe they're both monsters. They both deserve whatever they get. Yet, there's going to be a twist in this response from me. And I don't know if you're ready for it, but ready or not, let's go. So now that you know that I have never, let me explain to you why I never got down with Puff Daddy. Well, I worked for Sony. That's right, I worked for Sony in the 90s. I got a job because on my 18th birthday in 1993, at a club I was at with my uncle, Tupac Shakur, happened to come in there, and it was in Riverside, California. That's right, 1993. I had turned 18 just a couple of days, or the day before that. We were having a little celebration for my birthday, my Earth Strong. We drove down there, me and my uncle. He knew the waitresses and the ladies down there, so that, they sitting there feeding my uncle cherries and fruits and laughing it up, kicking it. I'm drinking a type of drink I never drank, one of them drinks with the different colors, one of them tequila drinks. I'm a young little thug, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just doing my thing. I was fighting a case. I was really my freedom was being threatened for a long period of time with the case because involvement in something. I ended up getting off that case. Luckily, I was the only person in that case, because when I got accosted by the police, they were not intending on finding anything on me. They were just jumping on me. They were just beating me down. But certain things happened. I ended up getting off that case. But this night, it was a blessing that let me know I'm going to get off that case. And what it was is KRS-One held the first annual hip-hop, I forgot what it was called, because at the time, if you know or not, KRS-One had moved from New York to the West Coast, to L.A. So in Palm Springs, he was having the first annual something such convention for hip-hop. Tupac was leaving there, and somebody must have told him there's a club in Riverside be cracking. So Tupac came to that club, just stopped through. The DJ told everybody, I got a big surprise for you. Tupac Shakur is in the house. Boom. He turned on like half the lights in the room. It was dark in there. You know what I mean? The bar was surrounded by people and this and this. Everybody shut down and was scared. This is Riverside, California. So most of the people there were from Riverside. They got scared and intimidated by Tupac. I'm sitting there like, Tupac where? You know what I'm saying? DJ is like, everybody's like, oh, happy to see him. But once he got in there, No, Tupac was flyed up. Like, I mean, he had on a one of them cashmere shirts from the Middle East. One of them real shiny with the and it was iridescent. And this is 1993. They didn't have shirts like that. And he had on that fat flat link. Back then, that was when the flat links, the ballers start getting, not the super dookie links, that's the 80s. But when those flat shiny ass links, he had two of those on and they was big as hell. He had this fat ass ring on, you know what I'm saying, one hand, another ring. He was just balling, being himself, come up in there. He walked around. He was like, what's up to people? And they were scared to holler at Tupac. I swear it was obvious. I was like, they scared to talk to him. This is when you get over here. I'm about to, let's, my uncle, like, yeah, we gonna, give him a gang of love. So he got around to our side and he was just like looking disappointed. He was just looking at people, but he was like, he had a couple of cats with him. They was a couple of big dudes. This is 93, so he went with no death row and nothing like that. I'm like, what up? My uncle like, what up, player? So me and Tupac like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? We dab up and stuff. My uncle like, what's up to him, this and this. We get to talking and stuff. He's like, yeah, y'all kicking it. His sisters was like, what's up to him? Because, they was some players themselves, the sisters, that we was kicking it with at least. And so I was like, yeah, we down here. My uncle was like, yeah, we down here celebrating my The DJ started playing the music a little loud after Tupac went around. We let him know, we was celebrating my birthday. He was like, yeah, my birthday in a couple days because my birthday is June 11th. Tupac's birthday is the 16th or the 14th because my cousin Craig's birthday is the 14th or 16th. They share the same birthday. In fact, my daddy the same birthday as Tupac. My daddy a Gemini. In fact, my daddy's a Gemini too. And my daddy's birthday is the day before mine. Mine is June 11th. His is June 10th. My whole family on my mom and dad's side is full of Geminis. We like literally a gang of dangerous ass Geminis. That's why I don't even worry about no fucking body. Never have, never will. Know what I'm saying? And I'm not from Brownsville. But I just want to keep dropping these jewels. Give big ups to the people that's showing up right now on the live stream over here on YouTube. On OWU, big up, one love, good to see you. And there on the DAVIDEMETRI Live in Color YouTube too. Peace. And Instagram, we got Adina, Denny. Yeah, cool, peace. So we got Kashif is in the house, mashing the place up. You know what I'm saying? Brethren always coming through. I appreciate Kashif. Man, you got to come through because you're supposed to be getting on. I'm supposed to be singing. I know it's my bad. I actually was doing one of them workouts, Kashif, we used to do, and outdoors though. And I did my sprints before, and afterwards, and I pulled my hamstrings. I pulled my left hamstring, and I already had a surgery on my left knee. So that's what stopped me from being able to hit you up so that we can organize and do a talk. But I will. I'm feeling a little better now, as you see. And everybody, I'm going to be also going live at 4 o'clock. At 3:30 through 4 o'clock, I'll start a live stream again with the gentleman that did the debate, the Donald Trump guy, the MAGA brother, Kadeem. Well, he's going to drop jewels on secrets to real estate at 3:30. We'll start between 3:30 and 4 Pacific Standard Time. He'll be dropping these jewels on real estate. But also me and him are going to talk about, regardless whether it's Donald Trump or whether it's Harris who wins the presidency, what we want to see happen. So he's going to have what he want to see. Some of it is contradictory to what I want to see. It might turn into a little debate. But clock in, call in. But let me finish this Tupac story on my birthday. And this is the reason why I never fucked with P. Diddy. Tupac and me and my uncle went outside because we told him I'm his biggest fan. He probably heard that a million times. He said, no, we was playing your music, your tape, because back then it was tapes. This is like June 1993. It was, of course, people had CDs. I had a CD player in a car I had just sold to get an attorney on my case I was fighting. So I knew people who did have CDs, but it was really like people with the money. So we get outside, we play Tupac's song. All my uncle did was turn the car on to prove that we've been playing. So Tupac really relaxed. He knew I was a Gemini. We was talking about being Geminis. Everything was going good. He gave me his manager's number. And gave me his pager number. So he told me he's going to hook me up and give me a job. That's how I got my first job in the industry. Before Tupac left, I was asking him questions about why he's always in the music video on the East Coast and why he be rolling with them so much. He was like, actually, he got beef with them and he gonna be getting out. He gonna be moving back out here. And I was like, you got beef with who? And he just said, you know, some of the behind the scenes people and producers, but he mentioned some producers. So at the time, the big producer was, as you know, Puff Daddy. So he didn't say his name though. Moving forward, I get my job with who was the West Coast manager of Tupac and Cypress Hill and a couple of other acts. They gave me my job going to the shows and doing all these different things. So after that, I went with Def Jam West. Because my homeboy Kari hooked me up with a job. If everybody remember Kari with Def Jam West back then. You know what I'm saying? So I used to work in the industry. And everybody knew Puff Daddy was a bayayich. He was a straight bayayich. You know what I'm saying? He be doing all kind of shit to people, fucking with people. But he didn't really show up as really on no gangster shit. And he'll always be trying to like, stop people from getting their money when they supposed to get their money. He'll always be like turning artists against other artists. That was his thing, instigating and shit. And then it was well known he was clapping other dudes' cheeks. You know what I'm saying? He was clapping, doing the weird cake shit. Like clapping dudes' cheeks was what Puff Daddy was known to do back then. But it was like him. And I'm saying this shit. I'm saying this shit. Know what I'm saying? I own up to this shit. Like, it was well known way before it was known. Especially in New York, it was well known because we used to have to go to New York for some of the shit that we were promoting. Because we did street team promotions. Back then, there was no social media. We had the muscle to get shit promoted. So, you know, I did Killer Army. We did a Destiny Child street team promotion. Not only in New York, we went down south to Atlanta and we did LA. You know what I'm saying? I did a lot of that shit back then. And I'm going to tell you, Puff Daddy was not nobody. Once Tupac passed away and Biggie and Puff Daddy started becoming this big guy and started doing all the clothing in the early 2000s shit, I really wasn't feeling half of you ninjas because I really didn't understand why y'all was fucking with him. Knowing that he had something to do, or I don't know why y'all wouldn't know. I mean, y'all weren't in the industry like me, but everybody knew he had something to do with Pac and Biggie passing away. But everybody was celebrating this dude and dressing like him and acting like him, want to be down and clapping their asses off and letting their kids. There was nobody taking a stand about who this dude was. But I'm going to tell y'all something. Everybody fucking playing like they're against him right now is the same motherfuckers that was licking his balls. Y'all was licking his balls, and I don't want to fucking hear it from none of you bitch-made ass dudes. Because when I was coming up, it was these. You know what I'm saying? It was these. And I'm going to tell you something. Cats is on some real fake shit right now. These dudes want to play like they conscious. Like Kashif and Alley Cat right there on my Instagram. Them is some conscious brothers and sisters. They been conscious their whole life. They ain't ever been went through, you know, hating other black people and destroying other black people's lives and all that shit. You got all these former crackheads that was destroying people's lives and females, grown ass black woman that went from 14 to down 30 was instigating black men to shoot and kill other black men, and they walking around here wanting to be the fucking leaders of the black community on social media. I'm saying it. The same thing with these black dudes putting bullets in other black men running around here trying to play. Tupac would never have let this shit be like this. Them black men back then would not let this hypocrisy stand. You know, and so we're saying that P. Diddy ain't never had a place in my life. So me speaking against P. Diddy is nothing new. And a lot of people of y'all speaking against P. Diddy, women and men, you need to shut the fuck up. You ain't about it. You never was about it. And you just like him. Y'all clowns. Y'all just like P. Diddy. You would have been up there with your legs wrapped behind your head, being passed around. You'd have been, and Isis and Su and whatnot, yada, yada, yada. I don't want to hear all y'all talking that shit about Puff Daddy because y'all wasn't talking about Puff Daddy and fighting against Puff Daddy like I was. I was never down with Puff Daddy. Never fucked with his music, none of that, except Biggie and some of the shit he was doing on other artists, like with some of the songs he made with Busta Rhymes and this. But his specific shit, brand and all that, I knew all the shit he was doing being in the industry. So, in Tupac, I knew Tupac personally, and he didn't fuck with him. So I didn't fuck with him. I stayed on a Tupac ethic my whole life. So I'm really not feeling how so many of y'all is out here trying to play like y'all wasn't down with Puff Daddy. Y'all knew what he was doing. Y'all knew his reputation and was still ass kissing, still in love with him. The same thing with R. Kelly. Up here sitting up acting like he the monster from the Blue Lagoon and shit. You know what I'm saying? Knowing he was on his Ike Turner. Y'all knew that Puff Daddy and fucking R. Kelly was on their Ike Turner and was still licking their ass from a distance. I don't want to hear it. Y'all got y'all daughters addicted to their music. All this, I never, when Tupac told me personally, he don't fuck with them before he got shot. When my mama woke me up out of my sleep and told me, your friend Tupac got shot. I said, what you talking about? I'm half asleep. I go for my gun. I run in the room. I didn't know she said Tupac. I'm in the room sleep. We living in the worst neighborhood in the United States at the time, in the city of San Bernardino, in the projects. And so I get up with the gun, ready to gun clap. Somebody trying to come to the door. Somebody messing with my home. My mama's home. She said, no, look at the TV. The commercial go by. It come back on. It's the news. It's showing Tupac in a wheelchair flipping it off. He done got shot and all that shit. So I'm like, oh, okay. I thought she was telling me. Because remember, like I said, Tupac is who got me my first industry job in the music industry and entertainment, period. So I want to just drop these jewels, but I wanted you guys to know I've always been adverse to punk ass P. Diddy. I never fuck with him. I never fuck with people that fucked with him. He always been a whole cake ass bitch made dude. We like, for instance, me and my queen, we just met John Boyega. We just met John Boyega at a spot down there in one of those cities in the Hollywood Burbank area. And I was talking to them. I didn't even know that was John Boyega, the actor. And I'm always a fan of him, and his movies is clean, especially the Star Wars Beyond that. And so the movie with Jamie Foxx, I was like, oh man, I know who you are. I let them know I know who you are, but I'm not fanning. I'm just talking with y'all. And I kept carried on. We talked. Me and my queen do that all the time. We be meeting these stars. We don't get no pictures. We ain't even fucking with them like that. We just talk with them, get with them, give them our cards. If they want to mess with us, you can mess with us. But we don't do all that, man. We celebrate life. We celebrate them. We let them know. And every time the celebrities are surprised that me and my queen don't be wanting pictures and ain't all, nah, we don't get down like that. We be talking about real shit going on in real life and be talking about what we do, our film, our books, our services, and what we can bring value to their life. And I suggest that to y'all. Don't be caught up in the fandom. But back to this subject, y'all, because I'm talking about the P. Diddy arrest. But I just let everybody know I never have got down with P. Diddy, so I'm not one of these bitch made dudes talking bad about P. Diddy. He is the black Jeffrey Epstein. He is. But I still got something else to say about this big tobacco going against P. Diddy. I'm going to say some names. Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Russell Simmons, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson. And I'm going to say another name. Oprah Winfrey. We're going to circle back to the Oprah part. So right now, I want to compare P. Diddy and what's going on with P. Diddy with the other foundational black Americans. Men that were over the $100 million, $500 million mark through their entertainment and investment exploits. Legally, they made that money. All right? Legally. So why are they being compromised like this? First of all, I already let you know, I don't get down and fucks with the R. Kelly and the P. Diddy, Sean Combs type. I don't never have in the hoods, growing up in the hood when I was young, selling dope and all that, I never fucked with them niggas that was into that tripping on female shit and all that overly extreme ass pimp shit. You know what I mean? I never got down like that. Had my own vices. I was a violent criminal. Know what I'm saying? So I'm just telling you like it is. I was a writer. I wasn't into that. I was a moneymaker and a writer. I never been in that abuse women. And we was like ready to take out dudes that was like 30 years old fucking with 14-year-old girls. That's the way me and my homeboys my age when we was teenagers was about. So to let you know the type of person I am, we wasn't having that shit. You know what I'm saying? We was beefing with grown ass dudes that I was trying to run up on our teenage homegirls. So, you know I don't fuck with, to this day, nobody like no R. Kelly and Puff Daddy, but I gotta point this out. This is beyond morals, guilt, and all that beat shit. Black people in the United States were not freed because white people got a dose of morals and spiritual enlightenment and love because they had some sudden empathy and compassion. You can get the fuck on out of town with that beat shit. That's some old bullshit. Black people were freed from slavery because black people were revolting so much they were about to burn down the fucking South from the Gullah Islands all the way to California. It was already a war. And so the federal government was crumbling because the blah, 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 blah. So the same with this shit, with P. Diddy, his arrest, what we're seeing is a yearly. By the end of this year, 2025, they're going to pick another black, so they're going to go for Denzel Washington. Who they going to go for? Who y'all think they going to go for? So ain't nobody perfect. Keep that in mind. I thought it was stupid as fuck for grown-ass women to be putting down and looking down on Tiger Woods for getting some pussy. The only black American man in history that's a billionaire at that while he's in his 20s and he can't get no pussy. I mean, when we stupid, we stupid. Let men get pussy. Cause when y'all complain like that, all of a sudden all the gayness came out. Y'all didn't scared everybody into gayness. Let's let people have flaws. Let people have flaws. Don't go for their juggler over flaws. I'm not going for P. Diddy. I just needed to let y'all know I don't fucks with that type. I don't fuck with him, period, because I believe it has something to do with Tupac and Biggie dying. All right? But Catherine Jackson, Michael Jackson, and the other Jackson's mother can't get and see any of Michael Jackson's assets because the state of California specifically and the federal government have tied his funds up and are shooting them over to attorneys, prosecuting attorneys, and his defense attorneys are eating all of Michael Jackson's assets. Why can't his mother get any of that money? Why was Michael Jordan's dad suddenly popped up, killed? When Michael Jordan and his dad was buying Circus in Las Vegas, Circus Casino was being sold and already going through all the financial matters to the Jordan's family. His dad and him were big time gamblers and also investors. They were buying it. Everything was going through not only escrow, but they already had got their licenses and everything was going. And suddenly Michael Jordan's dad pops up dead. After that, Michael Jordan was suddenly caught up in a scandal. Let's go to Bill Cosby. We all know what he was doing, what he was buying. I ain't saying nothing y'all don't know. I ain't got to finish this live. Let me get off this live stream. Y'all already know. You can call in at 909-446-2388. You can call in at 909-446-2388. In fact, let me plug this in. I need somebody to call in and talk some shit. Because this shit is some fucking serious shit. This made me feel like the reason why I haven't became no big, all the efforts, you know, I had a single In 1997, I released a single which played throughout Southern California and Northern California, Las Vegas, on the radio. I performed it, etc. I've been in the entertainment game. Why didn't I become this and this? Is the Amen saving me? Saving me from the snapping. Because ain't nobody about to force me on no casting couch. I'm the type that'll snap on their ass. So Tupac was the type that'll snap on their ass. That's why he fucked what's the name? Puff Daddy up in a party. And that's what started their big beef. Puff Daddy probably tried to come out with that beat shit. And so y'all need to realize this shit is about money. R. Kelly can't see any of his finances. R. Kelly didn't exhaust his finances and his money. Residuals is how you get paid in the music. Residuals is how you get paid in the music. So how could R. Kelly had exhausted his finances? That's impossible. There's people all over this world playing Christian versions and writing and singing and producing Christian versions of R. Kelly songs. Every time they do that, he gets paid residuals. He's getting paid millions of dollars monthly just off of the usages of the R. Kelly instrumentals, his lyrics, the publishing. I know. I just released a song right now. I'm signing with a distributor, and I have the music video produced. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling y'all that this is about fucking money. If they can keep this shit in court, all that money that Puff Daddy has, his estate has to pay for this and this, then the homes he owns, the properties, the banks that they're levying his bank accounts, and then they're et cetera, et cetera. All that's going to the state, whatever states it is. Then to the private owners of which he signed agreements to pay. Then it's going to the federal government. Then it's going to the courts and the prosecutions, not just to his attorneys. And then finally, once they say you got 30 years in prison with a life to Puff Daddy, all that shit, them twins, his daughters, his son, they ain't getting shit. Michael Jackson's kids, he did something so that they can live so good off of his shit. Them little, I don't know if they adopted kids. I don't know how he has kids. That shit don't make no sense to me. But Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby live in a house in Florida. Bill Cosby don't, it's a somewhat estate. Bill Cosby, I want money like Cosby. Who wouldn't? With that type of talk, definitely sure that you ain't got no pudding. Jay-Z. So how could Bill Cosby not be having it made like special ed? That don't make no fucking sense. I'm surprised Bill Cosby don't got a fucking coin with his face on it. But suddenly Bill Cosby is down and out. So now they done came up a way to stop black men, American, foundational black American men. I didn't say African, I didn't say Caribbean. I said foundational black American men cannot get so wealthy without becoming criminalized. It doesn't matter. We know that Bill Cosby, he told on himself he was doing that shit, yes. And his crazy ass was doing it to Jewish women and white women. That was stupid as fuck. So yes, he did deserve some, or whatever, but 900 women after 30 years deserve empathy, and in fact, some of his money? Bullshit. Get the fuck out of town. They was getting high. They was doing cocaine, and they was doing pills, because that's what everybody was doing in the 70s and 80s and 90s. Get the fuck out of town with that bullshit. They didn't found a way, a simple, easy way to not only turn everybody, they're hitting multiple birds with one stone. We're going to turn everybody against this legally earning of $1 billion foundational black American. Yeah, he's an actual real black American. He earned this over the last 30 years. He earned all the, oh, well, we got something for him. Yeah, don't worry. He'll never be back to this golf club again. Ha, 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 ha. Boom. It's that fucking simple. Who said you got to be perfect? Case in simple, Bill Clinton. Caught red-handed, admitted it and everything. Taking the stogie out of his mouth and sticking it in the girl, the woman's, Another case, a black man case, the justice, the Supreme Court justice, how he messed with the black woman wrongfully. But long as they're on the wrong side in there, man, they're okay. But when they're a common type of black man, they're the targets. When they're celebrated by the common people. Now, it's all about money and influence. The great multiple birds of one stone. You're destroying their legacy, their reputability, and their ability to inspire. Then you're putting all these cases against them so they can't go out and teach how to. You need to learn how to. How do you learn how to? By having access to the people that have done it, has proven. Puff Daddy, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly know how to succeed and achieve and sustain success and achievement in their fields of success. They can get all these young women and men that are black Americans and teach them how to organize and prepare them with risk management teaching to know how to deal with the contracts, distribution, touring, etc. Hire the black security, keeping the money in the community, the black caterers, the black makeup artists, yada, yada, yada. Now, this ain't about race, but what I'm saying is they're hurting a lot more people than it seems. Now, we can say, okay, well, my moral stance is fuck that. He shouldn't have did that, and he ain't no good. Lock him up. Okay, fine. But can we get the best out of them before they're locked up? Can we, etc., etc.? Can they invest their money and hand out money to those in need in our community? Why aren't they being allowed to help the community? You need to give back to your people as part of the punishment. Why ain't they doing that? I repeat, why isn't the government saying, hey, y'all need to give back? You're being required to give this much money to nonprofit organizations within your community, to your people. Since you were human trafficking, Puff, and you were doing this and this, and we require, they're never going to do that. They're going to take that money and give it to super middle class, higher middle class, and wealthy white people that are in the system. Non-black American people that are in the system are going to take all the money from Bill Cosby and have been taking it from Michael Jackson, claiming he molested some kids. Michael Jackson didn't molest no damn kids. Michael Jackson didn't molest no kids. Michael Jackson was doing what Prince, they was taking back ownership and taking full ownership and even defeating them in their own games. So they had to come up with a way to destroy them. So don't try to get me to kiss your ass and be up here crying and feeling sorry for your ass because you ain't black and this and this, but you don't see this shit and know how it feels. I'm pretty sure somewhere in the subconscious of a black man, they scared to get money. You not only have to deal with haters amongst your own community, you got to deal with these motherfuckers not only coming for your money, manipulating you in the system, but also falsely accusing you. The spirit of false accusation is destroying black men in America. The spirit of false accusation is destroying black men in America. And when I say America, it's not just the United States of America. Latin America destroys black people every day. So this is a talk I'm doing. We're going to be doing another talk, me and a gentleman. He's not black. He's a Trumper. We're going to have a little debate, me and him. Talk about what we think, regardless who becomes the president, they need to focus on and what needs to be done. So me and him don't disagree because he's not African American, he's not black. But we need to come to terms within our consciousness subconscious about what's going on with Puff Daddy. We need to put morals and all that shit to the side. We need to acknowledge as an individual, Bill Cosby was misusing his power. I don't know if any of y'all had power. I used to be in gangs. You know what I'm saying? I used to be in a dope gang, big. And when you have power, you misuse it. No matter who you are, you're going to misuse power. The only way you're not going to misuse power if you already been through it and you learned that lesson. And so you got it now, which is rare. Now you got that power again. Now you're going to do the right thing with it. But majority of all human beings always, no, it's my candy. You can't have any. All of these are my candy. You can't have any. That's just the way human beings work. So you got to realize, yes, R. Kelly and Bill Cosby and Puff Daddy did misuse their power. Who did Bill Cosby kill? Who did Bill Cosby tie up? Wasn't it grown drug users and drug addicts Bill Cosby was dealing with? I'm pretty sure it was. And in fact, what were they doing? Partying, promiscuous, everybody doing their thing. Fast forward, R. Kelly. In fact, R. Kelly be more guilty than Puff Daddy in certain things because R. Kelly was dealing with underage people. Puff Daddy wasn't doing that. Puff Daddy butt clapping dudes, grown ass dudes. These dudes, he didn't even have to offer them record deals and shit. And these are the same dudes complaining, and women too. Same, you got women that are living in poverty getting domestic violence on them. You got men in poverty. The women are domestic violence. Let me prove it. It's easy as this. And the hypocrites, I got you. Women in the ghettos got more power than men. Because women can also always say, he said this, he did this to me, and he ain't do shit to them. They just can't have their way with him. So they lie, and they have all these dudes, and these dudes are going to be violent to him just because they hoping to have sex with her. Or they're brain dead idiots. The women know this is a dumbass man. He don't have shit. He don't have nothing to lose. He emotionally wrecked. He worse than a female. So I can instigate him to fuck over this good black man, this good man. Him and his homeboys are going to go be violent to him. That's every fucking day. I'm 50 years old. In these motherfucking females, in these hoods, I go visit my cousins. They doing that shit. Oh, he got this and this and this. I'm gonna screw him over. I'm gonna instigate the homie. Ain't nobody ever did nothing about that. But we gonna do all this about men that are doing wrong. The community's still gonna be fucked up. All the ghetto, ignorant, acting motherfuckers need to be put in check, male and female. All the lying, scheming, human trafficking motherfuckers. It's females out there putting women on the track. It's females training their own daughters to be prostitutes and selling them into human trafficking. We got to deal with everybody. We all grown. We're never going to be little kids again. We're never going to be little kids again. We're never going to be little teenagers again. We're grown. We're adults. We got to make the adults be held responsible. Male and female. Just because you have a sexual organ that's different don't mean you're not going to be and that's what's been fucking us up. Irresponsibility. And that's why you got these monsters that get all this power at such a young age like R. Kelly and fucking Puff Daddy. Because they see all these crazy shit that the male and females are doing in the hoods. It turns them cold. The only way for me to get this is if I become cold. So I'm going to be a producer, and I got to do all this shit, and this is how I'm going to do it, because I got to stay cold. I don't want to end up like him, and him. So we have to kill that spirit of false accusation, and we have to deal with, and all these nasty spirits that we sit back and watch innocent men suffer to, innocent women suffer to. But this shit is beyond morals. This shit is all about money. And it is a full-blown governmental and intelligence agency, the FBI, the CIA. All of them are in on this shit. They can have no leaders that are to be honored. And there's more evidence. Because there's a female big time billionaires that is honored. She's Miss Perfect. And you all know her to be the Miss O herself, Oprah Winfrey. She has never did anything wrong. She is without sin. There ain't no Jesus Christ but her. She is the ultimate invincible. She is the incredible. Has never did anything wrong ever in history. Oprah Winfrey is amazing. There is nothing as great, as pure and holy as Oprah. Oprah's shit don't stink. Oprah is amazing. Unbelievably, incredibly perfect. Has never had a scandal, has never did anything. She has never farted all them years on her fucking show. And y'all okay with that? But y'all sitting back okay watching all these black men being destroyed for their sin? But somehow that one's perfect. Her friend, the other one, Gail, is perfect. Fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here. They molesting girls every day. I lived in South Africa where Oprah has her school. That fucking school wasn't nothing but the island of Lesbo, hence the word lesbian. Like Raz Kass said in the song, the nature of the threat. Yeah, I'm from that generation. I know the truth. I lived and schooled and taught in South Africa. Been at that school. That place is always getting people arrested and shit for molesting those girls. And Oprah Winfrey started that school and stuff. When she go there, she don't go there and jump on a plane and leave and give a speech and leave. She stays there. What's that? Type negative old blood? Need to suck people's spirit, the vampire? Need to suck an innocent child's spirit? But R. Kelly and Puff Daddy being brought down is the win? That's the win? That's the win? Subconscious. I'm speaking to your subconscious. Dropping jewels. That's on you. If you think it's some... Okay, people are so into the shit. Like, let's get into Russell Simmons. So they are so into imagery and status and achievement that so many men would sit back and think R. Kelly and Puff Daddy are just being treated that way because they're black men. Are you fucking retarded? R. Kelly and Puff Daddy became monsters. If you get power, if you're not so damn disempowered, you would know that. I had power. I could have had people killed and killed people plenty of times. The reason why I'm alive is because I show so much damn mercy. I show so much mercy over the years. Dude, power is a motherfucker. Power is fucking crazy. Power is insane. It's crazy to have power over other people. That shit is, you don't even sleep. You sleep, you wake up, you full of energy. Like they laugh at your terrible jokes. They wipe your ass when you just shit it. You flying them and flying them out. They lying for you. They dying for you. They living for you. They hating for you. They loving for you. Power is a motherfucker. And a lot of y'all need to get over it. Everything ain't because of race. This shit is about green money. Of course, you can always go after black people in America. In Europe, you can always go after their money. Doing shit like they doing, bringing them down, slandering them, or just finding evidence on them and exposing it. But it ain't that easy to do that to a white human being, to a Jewish human being, to a white Latino human being, to a white Asian human being. But the white black people you just acting. We gave you an Academy Award, but now take your black ass to prison. You're going to prison. In fact, thank you for entertaining us, but you're going to prison now. I never liked him. I hated him. Oh yeah. I knew it. I knew it. That's all that's going on. There wasn't no friends, wasn't no love. But for you to get that success, you got to keep going along with things, and you doing so good, and you acting like they're your friend. You have your birthday parties. You always celebrating the holidays. You traveling. You flying in and out. You forget about reality. And then the power trip part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if I can only take y'all and put y'all in my shoes to know what I've seen. Not only have I had power, I've watched people with power use their power. You know what I'm saying? And so what y'all need to get is I'm not on any miss number in this case or none of these cases. Russell Simmons was getting people on cocaine and molesting young dudes and young girls. And I'm talking about when he was in his 20s. He was clapping teenagers behinds, messing with dudes and girls. He was a big time girlist, like Russell Simmons running after all these women and this and this, and always had the cocaine, getting them high in the pills. Bill Cosby was doing the same. That's a power trip. You understand? You got to understand that I'm not missing on that. I know the motherfuckers was tripping. And also know that the system in the Matrix is fucking with them and hunting them and predatory toward them because they black. They can't do the same to everybody else because they're not black. So I do acknowledge, yes, it is because it's black, but it's mostly about money, and it's about keeping the image of black people down globally because there's so much of a push for us to be honored and respected and loved that the Matrix, the Narfaric forces, the wicked forces, the WS people, W, color, S, think they're better, they are losing. And so at the end of this talk, we're about to go into this Trump assassination thing, which is tied in with that I just spoke, that mentality. But you have to understand, they killed Michael Jordan's dad. They killed Bill Cosby's son. I didn't even mention that yet. Buying ABC. This black man had been nothing but a winner from day one. Fat Albert. He did his children's show and was teaching about ancient Egypt being built by blacks. That's what Bill Cosby was doing. The same man that y'all said he is a sellout because he's telling us we shouldn't use the word nigga. Really? That's just an argument point. That's not a reason to throw somebody the fuck away. Now, you still think that silly ass O.J. Simpson killed a woman and a man. Silly ass, jolly ass O.J. Simpson. Do you know what it takes to kill someone and how it changes you to kill someone? I bet you don't, but I do. And I'm telling you, you will never be the same again if you clap somebody, and especially if you stab somebody to death. Ain't not damn thing changed about OJ. He's the same golly gully old goo. That dude didn't have nothing to do with killing him. They wanted to bring him down because of that money. And so the reason why I'm doing this and saying this is because they went for Prince. No, they killed Prince. They killed Dr. Sabai. Dr. Sabai didn't get killed. Dr. Sabai already said he's passing away. But they were, at some point, were going to do that. They realized that would be a mistake. They give him more power. But the point is they did what they could to kill his movement to help heal people. Prince, he gave Michael Jackson, they swapped on how to deal with these corporations and the government and how to get the FBI involved to make sure they got their legal ownership over everything, their masters and all their image and everything. So they drug both of them. Shadow government, mafia, cartel, Michael Jordan's dad, Bill Cosby's son. What's the best threat than to take somebody out? What's the best pressure? Now you don't want the others to come up dead, so you comply. Katherine Jackson came and get none of her sons anything from the money. This shit been going on. What you think? It was a lead city called Black Wall Street in the United States. It was the lead city. They said, we got to burn this one down so much that we're going to invent a new type of weapon. We're going to use this thing called the airplane, which a black man invented. A black American man invented airplanes. And then not no Wright brothers, that's a myth. Already being taught in school, it was a myth. And so They put the first air bombing and use of weaponry from an airplane was used against Black Wall Street. Because Black Wall Street was the lead city in the United States for economic growth, not just the lead black city. Nothing has changed. It's just technology has changed. Rules and laws and social expectations, norms have changed. But certain areas of the world, it's going to be the same. And my point is, if you see me with a beard and dress ragamuffin, if I look broke, hopefully I achieve my goals to make you think I don't have shit. So all of y'all that can look back and say, wait, but he used to have his hair cut. Damn, he had his hair braided. Oh, he had his hair twisted and this and this. I gave that. You know how much the spirit of false accusation I had to deal with within my own community? Women falsely accusing me like it's a sport and it's cool. Black men falsely accusing me. Hispanic men falsely accusing me. Hispanic women falsely accusing me. White men, Asian men, white women. Everybody's just falsely accusing me everywhere I went for one thing or another. Did you know having an attitude or jumping to a conclusion about somebody when they walk in a room, catching an emotion like, I don't like that about them? That's false accusation. A lot of us are false accusers and ain't even bright enough to see it. We got to brighten up. And so it's not that P. Diddy's being falsely accused. I think P. Diddy should be locked up in regards to what he had to do with Tupac and Biggie dying. But this is about a money grab. It's just like sisters might used to feel funny about these black men in entertainment or in the limelight choosing to be with white women or non-black American women when they get married. Because the money's going to them women in their community. But there's a lot of black people in need. That's a justified emotion. We need to stick together, right? That type of thinking. So we've dealt with this, we've talked about it, and I just think that y'all need to come to terms and take whatever I influence y'all to know that this is a very layered situation and another one will come up. They will be going for somebody and shaming another black man. But Oprah Winfrey needs to be dealt with, y'all. I'm really saddened that somehow she's your Lordess and she is your Goddess Almighty. You are to submit and surrender and form your entire life out in wanting to be in her image, because Oprah is all perfect and almighty and the greatest human being that ever existed. In fact, did you know Oprah Winfrey is a greater woman and a greater hero than Moses, Harriet Tubman? Is this shit starting to get wacky? Did you know you've been programmed subconsciously to admire Oprah Winfrey more than Harriet Tubman? And you think that we are okay? You got dudes that acknowledge that Oprah Winfrey's real, but they say, I'm talking about black men, they say Harriet Tubman never existed. It's a myth. The white man brought up. Okay, but Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry are great. That's what's great. Denzel Washington being an actor, that's great. But these people, the only reason you exist and alive and ain't a sex slave right now, are allowed to even fucking read and own property and not owned as property is because of Harriet Tubman and them. But we gonna sit up here and get these people to make them our heroes. Didn't Malcolm X warn of that? Didn't Marcus Garvey warn you about that? Shit. Pay attention. Oprah Winfrey, innocent? What's going on here? What the fuck is going on here? No women are guilty of human trafficking on Earth? What? Hold on. How is this possible? I'm asking y'all grown-ass adults. Grown, know-it-all, opinionated, educated, and have great common sense, made it through the worst shit in life, strong as adults. No women have anything to do with human trafficking. I'll take you to the city of San Bernardino, And I'm telling you, in the city of San Bernardino, it's the women trafficking them little girls and them teenagers to be on them streets. It ain't the men. The men is the bodyguards. And the man is the one that catches the cases. That's why the shit is still going on, because it's the women, and yeah, black, Hispanic, and white women right there in South Central. These little certain streets in East Los, the Bay, women. So my thing is, it's not going to stop. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing I can do. But try not to be a victim of false accusation. Try not to take it for people that are bad. Because when you support bad, your karma is coming. Your karma's coming. We got it bad in our lives to complain about people and to complain about things that go wrong in our life. But we sat back and watched bad people hurt good people. We sat back and watched innocent people suffer to bad people when we could have said, hey, watch out for this. We watched good people get harassed and kicked off the job, and we sat back. Nothing I can do. Yes, it was. It'd have been you and them to fight against the others. You let these women falsely accuse the good men, but then you empower the bad men. Then you have a bad black community, and you play innocent. You want to sit up and try to act like that black man didn't molest them girls. You violent against someone falsely accusing a good black man, but the black man over there molesting the girls, you won't go because you're scared of them. You won't go fight them. But you call yourself a man? So you're going to go because everybody else want to go bully that innocent, cool little quiet black dude that mind his own business, but y'all ain't going to go after that thug little gang baron that done killed somebody. Y'all scared to death of him. All it takes is one bullet. What you scared of? One knife. It's called being stupid and cowards. Until all that shit is cleaned up, there's going to be plenty of P. Diddy's misusing power. R. Kelly misusing power. Bill Cosby being stupid as fuck. Just being stupid. O.J. Simpson being stupid as fuck. Russell Simmons. All these different people. And then there's going to be all kind of things going on. You're going to have to be like, I'm not sure what's going on. You're going to feel disempowered. Subconsciously, you feel disempowered. And then it gets to what we're about to talk about now, so I can close out real quick. We're going to talk about the elections. You feel disempowered. Every last one of y'all feel disempowered. Whether you're on my OU Live right now on YouTube or whether you're on DAVIDEMETRI Live in Color YouTube. All of y'all feel disempowered. I'm going to prove it. You feel disempowered. All of y'all are disempowered. It's your soul consciousness versus your ego consciousness every moment of your life. I don't know if you know that. This whole world is a world of contention. And so it is your soul consciousness versus your ego consciousness. Your soul consciousness is telling you you're disempowered. Now, other people are messaging you on social media in your life. Yeah, I like Kamala Harris. I like Donald Trump. This type of thing. Polarization. Adding to your subconsciously feeling disempowered. But your ego mind is creating ways to deal with it in a way where it seems like it makes you stable and you're okay. Maybe I'm just not going to vote. Or maybe it's Harris, she black. Or everybody else want her, so I don't know nothing about that shit. I'm just going to vote for her. Or Donald Trump because he wants to do crypto. Or Donald Trump because he wants to stop the border crossing. So polarization, you got to be metaphysical. You got to let your soul consciousness dominate. You see, I'm giving you value. I'm giving all y'all value. I'm giving you value because I value you and I believe you have value. That's why I said to call in. And so how did this curve? What I was just talking about is the government and the shadow government and the real secret leaders. That's who's controlling all this shit. They're not going to put hip hop used to be super positive. It almost used to be hip. It used to be jolly, like super cool and fun, like innocent. Hip hop, hit it, don't stop. That's why everybody was breakdancing and all this stuff. And then it was a criminal element where cats would talk about the hard knocks. But some of them start doing praising the negative, right? And then somebody said, I'm going to invest into it. The Jewish guy in Compton. And so with NWA, it blew up, and the same guys they connected with Too Short in Oakland. It did so well. And before that, that guy had connected with a guy named Ice-T from New York that was from LA and New York. They put him on. So this is where that negativity started, right? And so what happened is they had a big meeting that said, we will no longer, the private industrial prisons were started in the late 80s, the 90s actually, the early 90s. It didn't exist, privately owned prisons. When it first came into play, they contacted all the CEOs and all that and had these meetings. They get the CEOs of all the music industry, specifically the hip hop, that they would only fund negative acts, specifically in hip hop. So that's why hip hop went away from being positive. It wasn't the people's choice. There were no funding for acts that were positive. The ones that were still being positive, they were doing that on their own. They were going against the system. And so that's what's going on in politics. They had these secret meetings, the constitutional meetings. That wasn't just positive, that was negative. We're going to destroy and enslave these black people. Yeah. Getting it? So what other negative shit were they in there agreeing on doing? We're going to enslave and kill off all the American Indians. The light-skinned American Indians, will let only the mixed ones. We'll only let some of the mixed ones live. We kill all the black American natives and force them into slavery with the black Africans. You see, all these evils. So the same thing, this Donald Trump assassination, I want to kick some to you to know in a minute, but let me just drop that jewel on that level I was just saying. There's always a big power group misusing their power, instigating all this big shit going on. The shit going on in the Taiwan Straits with China and the United States about to kick off World War III. The shit between the Zion state of Israel against the Arab states, in specific Palestine and Iran. There's groups, secret groups that are instigating all that shit. So let's get into this real quick and drop it, and I'm done. Trump's assassination. The first assassination attempt was fake. Fake blood, yada, yada, yada. That's why just 2 days later, he has no injury. It was fake. That simple. But why? That's what's most important. Project 2025. Project 2025. One of the reasons why. You see, Donald Trump, as I said, if you look at if you look me up, DAVIDEMETRI, and a song called Prophecy, you can even see go to DAVIDEMETRI Live in Color on my YouTube. I'm going live on that right now. You'll see the music video called Prophecy. I prophesied of Donald Trump being killed. I did. I made a whole song about it. I made a music video about it. You can see it. You can even go to Apple. You can listen to it. And so, with that, Donald Trump is protecting himself. Him and his team come up and said, since all these white supremacist groups that we distance ourselves from and we don't have nothing to do with them no more, but yet they helped us get where we're at, since they want to kill you, Donald, how about we stage a shooting, and then from there we'll get more federal protections, because you already used to be the president. They'll have to give you protection without you paying. Therefore, when they actually try to kill you, we'll have more protection, and then it'll be less probability that you'll get shot, injured, or killed. So that was the purpose of the first shooting. Now, this second shooting is a randomality. An old dude that want to make history. I don't know if y'all know white people like I do, but it's people like that amongst white Americans. And in Europe, too. They want to make fucking history. So they owe 60-something, you know, he don't give a fuck. He going to go out there and try to shoot him so he can be the one. But then there's actual groups that want Donald Trump dead. up there lying, talking about he don't have nothing to do with Project 2025. Okay, you don't have nothing to do with the writing of it, but all those people worked in your administration when you were the president, and they help you with your election. That wrote Project 2025. So you distancing yourself from them. Steve Bannon, he distanced himself from them, and all these different white supremacist stuff. See, Donald Trump's not a Southerner or a Midwestern. Donald Trump's from New York. Donald Trump parents moved to the United States in like 1901 or something. They ain't none of these white people that have been in America since the 1700s. Donald Trump is a typical New York white dude. He's his parents were immigrants after the 1900s. You have to understand what that means. His dad housed the United States. He got so much and built so much wealth with his just coming to the United States. His dad is a fucking beast. He's like a top-notch hyper-capitalist baron. Donald Trump's dad was. To achieve what he's a heartless, cutthroat motherfucker. Having black people freeze to death during the winters, not giving them housing and kicking them out of housing out of nowhere in New York, in the tri-state area, that's in Virginia, all of it. Baltimore. That's what his dad did. Donald Trump's dad. So you have to understand Donald Trump grew up being selfish and cold-hearted. He inherited that shit. So they gonna do everything to win. They don't believe in losing. So they framed up all that. They want to kill Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not a good human being. I do not support Donald Trump and his presidency or anything like that. But what I'm telling you is there's a big scheme going on here. And then you need to start thinking on these terms when you're seeing shit going down and all these messages and all this shit. And so the last part about Donald Trump you need to know is Donald Trump does not intend on winning the presidency. Donald Trump has no interest in winning the presidency. He's running so he'll stay out of prison, so his sons will stay out of prison. And he's hoping he can win because last time he was doing the same thing and he won. But there's an added issue. All those court cases and him, Donald Trump, getting put, filing these and all that, the reason why Donald Trump is not in prison is because he cut a deal. And the deal is that Donald Trump will run for presidency as a distraction. Harris is going to become the president. And they got this agenda they're going to do, right? The shadow government. But it's like Donald Trump agrees so him, his sons, and the others won't go to prison. His wife, because of the communication with the Russians and all these other things. I don't even have to mention the Russian thing. But he's faking like he's running for president. But the gamble is that he could possibly win. You see, just like last time. And so that's what's really on, and that's how much you're being lied to about the United States itself. So the United States, you need to understand, it's an oligarch. It's actually an aristocracy. Like Barack Obama was a sign of the aristocracy of the United States. Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. Because you see how they were, especially Barack Obama, how smart he was. Like he was smartest president and politician in the history of the United States, besides those black Americans that changed things for the better. But he's not one of them. He was one of the more like, he come from amongst the whites. Barack Obama did. And so like, that's the aristocracy part of the United States. But then the United States is more like an oligarch. It's oligarchical. So the aristocracy is like the specific royal class of people are shining their light on the common people, and that's good enough. If they suffer because they deserve it. That ain't old European shit. And the oligarch thing is the rich rule over the country. They write the laws, they instigate things, they allow and disallow. They say who will have what and how much and what, etc. United States is a complete oligarch, but they're telling you they're a democracy. It's an oligarchy mixed with a plutocracy, and a plutocracy is ruled by the corporations. You have to understand that's what you're living in. You're not living in a capitalistic democracy utopia, like they try to pitch it. The United States is declining. The United States is an oligarchy. It's ruled by the rich, but they made it seem like everyone isn't rich, isn't poor, because you have cell phones. Why the fuck do you think they gave people Barack Obama phones? It had nothing to do with the necessity or benefit. It had to do, and it didn't have anything to do with they were watching and listening on them. Fucking listening on a fucking dope heads that didn't have sense enough, to take care of themselves. No, they gave them out to make everybody feel like they don't have a need to revolt. To feel like they don't need to think for themselves. To make them feel more accepting of feeling helpless. If you feel acceptive of feeling helpless, if you feel like the hope is diminishing, you're supposed to be feeling angry. Like Malcolm X said. You're supposed to be feeling angry. You're supposed to get together and fight. But instead everybody feel, it's okay, I got a cell phone. It's okay, I can go get a beer. I can go get some pills. I can mix the pills into the drink. I can sniff the line. I can have sex with everybody. I can put myself on social media. Look at me. Everybody's look at me addicts. Fucking addicts of look at me. Every day you wake up, look at me. Attention addicts. Attention addict isn't only look at me, getting attention. Attention addict is also giving attention, draining your energy by giving attention, looking at the phones, so this is the shit that we're dealing with in real life, that our ego is being fed and our soul consciousness is being diminished. So we're not soulful people no more. We're not soul beings. And that's why we're not like our ancestors in the 1960s and 70s, because all it takes is the cell phone, the computer, giving your attention and getting attention on that too much, and it's diminishing your soul energy. You getting it? And so that's part of what's going on. So I gave some jewels about this, but you need to know that that's what's happening. Pretty much the Harris person is the president, and it's about to be a lot of shit. The main thing is your soul, though. You want to develop your soul consciousness and strengthen it. Empower yourself, your soul, not your physical, not material stuff. You already got that. Your soul energy need to grow real strong, because it's going to be some serious psycho-spiritual manipulation and deception coming on you. And you might end up an unknowing victim. And do what you want with that knowledge. I just dropped those jewels. You know what I'm saying? It's up to you. I'm out of here.